welcome to the Celtic Cast On podcast. My name is Kelly and I'm coming to you from the beautiful east coast of Canada. Today is January 23rd. Today is January 23rd and I have a lot to show you. Before December started, I was working on finishing all of my WIPS, which I mostly completed except for one pair of socks. But in January, I started all of the things. So I have a lot of WIPS to show you, so let's just jump right in and I will show you what I'm working on. So before I start with showing you all of my WIPS, if you watched my December Vlogmas, which is where I vlogged every day in December, I showed you various crafty things that I was up to, and I showed you my 2 advent calendars, actually 3. I bought an advent calendar from Lay Family Yarns. I did a swap. This was Lay Family Yarns organized a swap of just not their yarns, but any yarns. A 5-gram mini swap. My partner happened to be Emma of Eldenwood Craft. How lucky am I? Now Emma and I feel have the same tastes in a lot of things, so because I was swapping with Emma, I kind of knew what things she liked and knew what colors she liked, and I felt pretty good inside that I could give her something that she wanted. So in that swap that we did, we had to include something that we had made. It would be like a small ornament, tree ornament. And we had also decided that we were going to swap a skein of yarn for the 25th. So minis for 1 to 24, something that you had made, an ornament, and a skein of yarn for the 25th. So the only thing that I didn't show on my Vlogmas, was the skein of yarn, and I'm actually using it in one of my projects right now. So let me show you the skein of yarn that I got. So she gifted me Down Sheepy Lane. It's called Sheepy Shorty Summer Sunday Sock Club, and it was called Bottoms Up Brownie. So that's the tag, and this is what came in it. So there is, I don't know if it tells you it's 75-25, and you got 50 grams of this one, and then 20 grams of this one. So the pair of socks that I started, I'm using this for heels and toes and the color work, and then just the body of the sock in that. Now this came at the perfect time because I am joining Lay Family Yarns and So Sweet Violet's Rainbow Sock Chronicles. The idea of this is we're knitting a pair of socks every month, and there's a certain color that you have to knit every month. So you don't have to knit any certain pattern. You just have to complete a pair of socks in a certain color in that month. So for January, the color was pink. No brainer. So I cast on a pair of Yule socks. And the Yule sock pattern is from Carol Feller. And I don't even have my sock blocker here to show you. I'm so disorganized today. But this is the first sock that I've completed. So it's a chevron pattern at the top, heel flap and gusset, and that lovely pink toe. So while the yarn does have brown in it, it's got a pink background, so it will work well. So that's my first one. I have started the second cuff, and I'm actually just started the color work of that cuff. So it's the 23rd of January, so I need to get these finished pronto. When I first started the knit along, I only had this project on the go, and I thought, oh, I'll crank out 3 pairs of socks for this month. That was until I started casting everything on. So I'm gonna be lucky to get this pair done. So I'm gonna be working on these this week and hopefully finish them up. But thank you so much, Emma. I love this yarn. And, well, as you can tell, I cast them on right away. And I loved everything in my advent calendar. You can go back to my Vlogmas to see the yarns that she put in, and she also included which was very naughty because this is supposed to be a ornament for the tree, and I got a beautiful bag instead. This is one of Emma's beautiful handmade project bags. You can find her on Eldenwood Craft on her website. I love this, and I love how the stitching bumps out. So thank you so much, Emma. The other, I told you about 2 of my advents. The other advent that I did was part of a swap that Caroline, what is it? Let's Crochet. I'll put it below. She's on Instagram and she started a swap, and I joined that one, and I got to know Karen from the UK, and she and I swapped packages, and it was supposed to be actually a fabric swap. And when she found out I knit, which she does too, we decided that we were going to add both in, so fabric and yarn. So I got different things every day, and I was treated crazily well. And I got all kinds of fabric and yarn, and you can see those on my Vlogmas. We also decided on a skein for the 25th, and this is what she sent me. This is Serene Yarns. Apparently she doesn't dye anymore, but she's from Chester. And this is Superwash 7525. Oh my gosh, look at the color. I love gray, as you know. Most of my house is gray in some form. But look at the grays. There's even like a tanny beigey color. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. Funnily enough, I love grays, and I don't have a lot of it in my stash, like for socks. I have 1 pair of socks that I can think of right now that are grays, and I love them, and they are my favorite to wear. So I think this might have to become my second favorite to wear pair of socks. But for right now, it's gonna just be sitting and getting squished. So thank you so much, Karen. I enjoyed those advents so much this year. They brought joy to my December each and every day. So you've seen my Yule socks. That's whip number 1. My second whip that I started in my Birch Grove bag. I haven't used this one in a while. I had a project in it, and it just was sitting there not getting used, and I decided I was going to dump the project out and fill it up with something else that I was going to use. This is the Throwover Sweater by Andrea Mowry. I had this yarn sitting in a bag in my closet, and I have a sweater's quantity of it, and I just thought I need to knit that up so I can get it out of my closet and into something that I can actually wear. So I found the throwover pattern, and I had most of these colors already. Well, I had 2 of them, okay? Let's get real here. So I had this color, which is Rag, which is a cream and a beigey color. I had this color, which is cream. And I just went to the dollar store after work to see if they had the other 2 colors, because our dollar store sells Briggs at certain times of the year. So this is Copper, which is like a dusky pink. And I was missing 1 color. I couldn't start it until I got the 1 color. This is Dark Maroon. And Christy, who's Christy Stitches on Instagram, she's local to me, and she saved my bacon. I put a call out to see if anyone had it. I couldn't find it anywhere at any of the stores. Even my local yarn store didn't have it. Christy had it in her stash, and she said, yep, you can come grab it. I came and grabbed it, got stuck in her driveway, had to get Moose to come pull me out with his truck. It was a grand time, but I got the yarn. I'm loving how it's knitting up. Now, I can't take credit for this colorway, color pairing, I should say. I saw it on Instagram on a finished knit when I was looking for what I could knit with this yarn, and I fell in love with it. And it's just something that I would completely wear right now. So I'm getting there. This chevron is kind of a pain to knit because it's 3 colors that you're knitting at in the same row. So it's kind of fiddly and your yarn gets twisted, but I'm almost there. Once I get through these last two colors, then it will be plain sailing, plain body and plain arms. So I'm hoping I can get this one done soon so that I can wear it. So that is the throw over, and that's Briggs and Little Heritage. What else did I start? Okay, let me see where they are first. I think it's in this one. Yes, so this, I have mittens. I have one pair of mittens basically. One pair of knit mittens, and Sarah, my knitting Sarah that you will have seen in past episodes, actually made them and gifted them to me. She has beautiful patterns, and the pattern that she made me was the Corbett Brook mittens. I love them to death, but they are a little, I have small hands, so they're a little loose, so the wind kind of blows through them. And where I'm outside several times a day at school, I wanted something that the wind wouldn't blow through, because I keep getting cracked thumbs and fingers. And it really hurts. So, do you want it all the way up?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So I decided I was going to knit myself a pair of thrum mittens because in my stash I had a braid of fiber, a bag of fiber that I got from Good Vibrations, which is a local yarn shop. And this is just a beautiful gray color. And I found in my stash this beautiful, let's see if I can find the tag. This beautiful yarn that I've had for quite a while, many years. It's Orange Flower yarn. Here's the company. Orange Flower yarn. It's their worsted weight merino superwash, and it's in cosmic blue. I actually have two skeins of this, so I could always make a hat to go with the mittens if I decide. But it's blues, and it goes into purple, and there's like a greeny blue. And I just thought that they would look really nice together. Not something that screams out, hey, I'm a thrum mitten, but something kind of neutral. So I started my thrum mitten. Now, a little backstory. I had a pair of thrum mittens before I got married. My mother-in-law, she gifted me a pair of thrum mittens that she bought for me at the market. Now this pair of thrum mittens, the thrums, I don't even know if it was fiber or if it was just yarn that was tied, but they were really thin, and I vowed that when I made thrum mittens that I would make them really thick so that the wind couldn't blow through them, and I was gonna love them. So I started my mitten. I think I might have went a little crazy on the thumbs, and I think I'm gonna have to pull it back. Here's my cuff, and here's my mitten. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone that has knit thrums before, because this is my first ever pair, but is that a little too thick? I feel like it is. I mean, I love it. I would wear them just like this, but I think it's gonna be gigantic on my hand. So I think I'm gonna have to pull back and go with smaller thrums. Yeah, because look. I don't know. Tell me what you think if you've knit thrum mittens before. But I love how they're working up. They look really pretty. Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna have to restart my thrums and kind of go from the start again. So that's my progress on those. I kind of shoved them in the bag and I'm gonna forget about them for a while so that I can get my head around what exactly I want to do with them. If you have any suggestions, if you are a thrum knitting expert, I would love to hear your thoughts. So that's my next whip. I'm not done yet. During December, if you watched Vlogmas, you will see that I started a crochet blanket for my niece out of leftover yarn from my Dunes blanket that I had knit that last year. I saw this puff stitch tutorial on YouTube, and I wanted to start a puff stitch blanket, which I did, but it really eats up yarn and I had to order more. And it didn't come until after Christmas. So I'm well on my way, and it does work up really quickly, but I just need to pull this out and start going again. So I'm just randomly striping it because I just had leftovers. I didn't want to do a sequence because I figured I would run out, but I did run out anyway. So it's just a random pattern. So this will be a present for my niece. She has no idea. She loved my Dunes blanket. She was wrapped up in it in the summer after they were in the pool, and I just decided that she would probably love this too. So it's a good size. She can curl up on the couch with it once I make it long enough. So all of my yarn for that arrived, and I will get to knitting that. I'm using a 5mm, yeah, an H 5mm crochet hook, and it does work up very quickly. So I'm using Stylecraft Special DK. These are some of the colors that I've ordered, and I really love this as an acrylic yarn. It is so soft. I have one more whip to show you. Stay with me. No, actually I have two. Goodness. Okay. The mother-in-law that I was talking about bought these pair of slippers, again, probably at a market or something, for my son. He's had them for a few years, and he has busted holes through them all. And while I thought that I could maybe just stitch them up, he is really busted through them. Like he just needs a new pair. So I said, you know what, buddy? I could probably knit you a pair. Would you like me to knit you a pair? He said, yeah. Would you like me to knit them in Batman colors? Because Batman is his favorite. And he said, yeah, I really would. Can you knit them after dinner? He thought he was just gonna sit down and watch me knit and finish his mittens after dinner. That didn't happen, but I have been working on them. Oh goodness, I've got so much here, I don't even know where it is. Is it in here? Oh, here it is. And I did finish one. So this is my first ever old-fashioned slipper. The pattern I'm using is Aunt Bev's Old Fashioned Slippers, and that's on Ravelry. You can check out my Ravelry page if you're on there. If not, I think if you just Google it, it will come up as well. So these, to me, these aren't fun to knit, just because it's not something that I want in the end, right? It's a little boring, but he wants them and I know he will wear them, so I'm making them. So I'm just using leftover black and leftover yellow that I had in my worsted stash. I think the yellow's an acrylic from Michael's. The black might be Cascade 220 maybe. Yeah, so I've got number 2 on the go, just the beginning, but I've got it on the go. And he keeps at me that he wants them finished, so I just need to sit and knit them and get them over and done with. But what I really want to work on is my sweater or my socks. I just need to get it done. Just need to get it done. So those will be his new slippers. I thought about putting some puffy paint on the bottom maybe. I don't know if I want to go full on bottom on them, because he likes to slide around on the floor in them. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the end. But I've got one done, one on the way. All right, I have one more whip to show you. Gosh, this is a lot. So I had told you that I had purchased the Lay Family Yarns 2020 Advent Calendar. I was not disappointed in that calendar whatsoever. The colors are absolutely beautiful. And I will show you a few of them that I have here in my bag. This isn't them all, but this will give you kind of an idea. And you can go back to my Vlogmas to see all of the colorways that I got for every day. So I have 24 of these little 20-gram minis. And Tracy Arnold of Nora George Yarns came out with a beautiful crochet pattern called the Trellis Blanket. And I knew I wanted to make a blanket with these, but I just didn't know what. I could have done a crochet granny, but I don't know, they're just so beautiful. Tracy's pattern came out and I was sold. So this is, and now this isn't blocked yet, so you will have to, I'll add a picture here so you can see what Tracy's look like. You get an accurate representation. But this is my first square for the Trellis Blanket. Oh gosh. It really needs to be blocked first. So there's a middle and then there are baubles that come out from each diagonal. I don't know if you can see that very well. So that's my first square, and I'm hoping to do one square from each skein. And then if I have leftovers, I had a little tiny bit of leftover, I might put it into a blanket, a striped blanket. So I'm using a size D 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. Now I did have to start this about 5 times to get it right, but I think once I get going with it, I'll just bang out 24 squares really quickly. And then at the end of the year, if I've been very good, I might purchase another Lay Family Yarns Advent for next Christmas, and I'll keep going with this and add them into my blanket. So that's the plan. Those are my Lay Family Yarn Advent minis. And that is my second crochet project. And that project, of course, is in Malcolm. He's going to house my blanket. I'm sure he will look after that Lay Family Yarns yarn very well. All right, so the last thing I have to show you is my one FO that I completed in December. This is Turtle Pearl Yarns striped yarn in the colorway In My Element. I knit a pair of socks with these, and if you watched Vlogmas, you will see the trials and tribulations that I had with them. This was a gift from Knitting Sarah quite a few Christmases ago, and I decided that I was going to knit Christmas bell socks with these. So the gold and the silver, or the gray, was going to remind me of Christmas bells. The idea is that they have 2 skeins and they knit up with 2 identical pairs of socks. And when I started and finished one, I thought, oh yes, I'll be finished these in a week. I started the second sock and it didn't match at all. So I figured that I had pulled from the wrong side of the ball, and so I switched it around and I started knitting again, and they still didn't line up. So I ended up having to knit a 3rd time from the cuff down until I got to, I think it was the gusset, and then I realized that that's where it actually started for this next sock. And I then had to take that, cut it off, and start knitting again, so I would have 2 matching pairs of socks. So I was pretty annoyed with this yarn because it's supposed to be you buy it and you are able to knit 2 matching pairs of socks, and that's not what happened. So there they are, my finished socks. I should have a blocker, but I don't. They're finished, and I do love them, even though I didn't love them while I was knitting them. Yeah, so that's my one FO. So hopefully, when I record in February, I will have a few FOs since I have several things started. But that is all that I have to share with you today. So thank you so much for watching me. If this is your first time watching, feel free to watch my previous episodes or like and subscribe below to get future episodes. And I shall be back next month with hopefully some more knitting, crochet, who knows, some sewing. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your January, and I will see you soon. Bye.